So, good morning and welcome to today's session. So, we're going to do a short session on flexibility with yoga. So, always make sure you're warmed up first of all, and then we're going to start off with some stretches. So, first of all, let's start with those feet nice and wide. All right, turn your feet out slightly and just take the weight from one side to the other. So, we're just beginning to warm up those inner thighs. Now, you don't have to be a flexible person to do yoga. I'm certainly not the world's most flexible teacher, but it helps to improve your flexibility. All right, let's come back to the center. Turn those feet forward, fold forward. So just let your body weight pull you down. Relax your head, relax your neck. Now again, if you're not that flexible, you can use things like a yoga block or a pillow, something to rest your hands on here. All right, hands to your thighs, push yourself back up again. Let's bring those legs in a little closer now. So again, we're just going to roll down. So relax your head and arms. And with yoga, we don't want to force anything. So just go to where you start to feel that stretch and breathe. And after a while, your muscles will relax and you'll gradually find you can maybe go another half an inch. And of course, at different times of the day, our muscles are warmer, we're more flexible. If you're a flexible person here, you could get your hands flat on the floor. Now, I'm not that flexible, so I'm just going to let it relax. You can have a little rock forward, so you're increasing that stretch in the back of your legs. Okay, let's come back up again. So let's stretch some of the front of the muscles now, front of the thighs. Come down into a kneeling lunge position. So you've got 1 foot forward, 1 foot back, and then just let your hips sink forward. Now again, if you're quite a tight person, you may even feel it still here under your hamstring. I want you to feel it here in your back thigh, hip flexors. And again, we're just going to hold it and breathe. Now come back out of that pose. So you're sitting nice and tall. Imagine you're tucking that tailbone under. Feel it there? Squeeze your glutes. And breathe. All right, let's change legs. So step your foot forward, let those hips sink forward. Make sure you've got a big enough step between that front foot and your back leg. And again, just breathe, let the muscles relax, sinking into that stretch. And of course, if that's not comfortable kneeling, you could always fold your mat over, put a little cushion under. So let's come back up out of it. Think tuck your tailbone, squeeze your glutes, and breathe. Now, another area we're often tight is our calf muscles. So here's how we're going to stretch it in yoga. Down dog. Flatten your hands, spread your fingers. Tuck your toes, lift your hips up. Now again, lowering those heels as much as you can. So let's just walk on the spot. Lower one heel, then the other. So bend one knee and then the other. All right, see if you can lower both heels again. Now this is also a good stretch for our back muscles and the hamstrings as well. So let's go into some back stretches. Come onto your hands and knees. Now this is a mobility move going from cat to cow. So we're talking about flexibility. So this is a good one to do as well. Rounding your back, dipping your back. And then our child's pose, knees apart, sinking your hips back. Now lots of options in child's pose. You can rest your head on a couple of fists or a pillow. You can rest your head on the floor. Relax your forearms on the floor, either beside you, or you can take your arms back. Now that's quite a nice one to do, to really let those shoulders drop. And feel that breath travel down your spine, stretching out that lower back. Relax your shoulders. Then we can make it a more active stretch by reaching your arms forward and really see if you can stretch those fingertips as far forward as you can. Glue them to the floor as you're pulling your bottom back. So we get a nice stretch down the sides of those shoulder blades. All right, let's come back up again. So a little bit of flexibility now for our shoulders and chest. So let's see if we can clasp hands just behind your back and draw those shoulders back. So you're just gently lifting your arms up behind you. Again, you don't have to do this in a kneeling position. You can do it standing, seated. And then relax there. All right, nice one now for those arms is our eagle arms. Bring your right arm across, left arm lifts up. Drop elbow to elbow. So if you imagine now you're making an X Factor shape with your arms. Then you can either bring back of hand to back of hand, or we're going to try and wrap those arms palm to palm and then lift. And relax there. Now, any of the twisting moves, they're also good for opening and stretching the chest and shoulders. So let's just do a very simple one, seated. Legs can be bent or legs can be straight. Just placing your right hand across to your left side. Take your left hand back behind you. Sit up tall and then open as you twist. And then let's try that the other side. Lovely. Now, of course, let's have a forward fold here, seated fold, flexing forward. Now, try not to round your back in order to reach your feet. So keep that length in your spine. I think hinge here from the hips. Relax your shoulders and arms. So let me show you that sideways. So instead of rounding my back to reach my toes, I'm keeping that length as I hinge from the hips. Think about your knees pushing down into the floor, and that's going to help stretch. Now, one of my favorite stretches is for your piriformis and your glutes, all these muscles here in your bum. A bit more of a difficult one to get into though, but let me show you it. You're going to tuck one foot across like so. So let's have left foot tucked across the front of your mat. Take your right leg back behind you, roll over onto the knee and flatten the toes. And then you just walk your hands forward, relaxing where you can. Now you may need to have a little wiggle from side to side here, just to ease yourself into that stretch. That can be quite intense if you're tight in that area. All right, let's come back up again. So I'm going to show you how to get into it on the other side. So again, we're going to bring our leg across, Stretch the other leg back, roll over, knee flat, toes flat, and walk forward. So again, if any of those stretches are painful, come out of them. Try not to go too deep too quickly. So just go a little way, let it relax, and then go a little further. Remember to breathe all the time. That does help the muscles relax. And always make sure your muscles are warmed before you start stretching. Thanks for watching. See you next time.